recording.
Okay, great. Thank you. Like to ask everybody before we get going, as you're checking in, would you mind in the chat signing in, put your name, your company email, just so we have a record of that. In the case some people are on phones and we don't recognize that, so that'd be really helpful for us to have that check-in. So go on the chat, sign in, put your name, all that information. Thank you. Like I said, I'm with Gordian, account manager, and I'm going to see if any of the county people would like to introduce themselves to before I start the presentation. Mike?
I'm Michael Beaton. I'm the Director of General Services for the County of Santa Cruz.
I'm Marcia Marani, Division Manager for Contracts at the County of Santa Cruz.
And I am Luna Harder. I'm the Administrative Analyst here at the County of Santa Cruz General Services Department.
Thank you. Anyone else from the county there?
Yes, my name is Shauna Soldati. I am the senior buyer here at the purchasing division. And I just wanted to mention, if people could put their name, their company, and their email contact in the chat, that'll really help for us to document who has attended today. So just wanted to clarify that because it's really helpful for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Great, thank you. Okay, well, I think we're ready to go. I'm going to put my screen up. Can everybody see that?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. Okay, so once I get going, I can't really see. So if you have any questions or anything happens, and you want to, I can't see you raise your hand or anything like that. So feel free to jump in at any time, or we can do it at the end. But again, I'm looking at the screen, so I can't really see if you raise your hand or have a question. So, all right. So thank you all for coming to the County of Santa Cruz General Service Department General Job Order Contracting Pre-Bid. I'm going to go through this presentation, and again, a lot of you have seen this and some of you have not. So I'm pretty much going to go through it, and if you have any questions, again, just raise your hand. Not raise your hand, step in. Okay. So pre-bid conference agenda, this is what we're going to go over. Bit of overview of what JOC is, go over some contract documents, what the JOC process is, what's in the solicitation details, and understanding the construction task catalog, the CTC, calculating bids, bid considerations review, contractor adjustment factors, risk of low adjustment factors, and then any questions. So County of Santa Cruz has 14 contracts out for this solicitation. You have 3 contracts for general construction, the B license, with the maximum contract value up to $5.4 million. Paving, A license, minimum contract opportunity of $25,000 and a maximum opportunity contract value of $5.4. Mechanical, 2 contracts at max value of $2 million each. Roofing, $2 million each. Electrical, $2 million each. And plumbing, $2 million each. A lot of contracts. All these contracts will be in place for 1 year. Work will be issued under the Job Order Contracting Program. It'll be administered by the General Services Department. And Gordian will administer the JOC contracts and support the county and all JOC contractors. JOC overview definition. It's an indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity process, IDIQ. It enables contractors to complete a substantial number of individual projects with a single bid. Tasks based on competitively bid preset prices that are in the construction task catalog. The value of this, it saves time and money and provides transparency and auditability for you and for the county. These are overviews of umbrella contracts. Bidding under the umbrella contract is owner advertises the job order contractors, contractors submit bids, owner awards umbrella job order contract. And so you have all these contracts are under one umbrella, procuring individual projects from the owner, subcontracting opportunities. Why job works for contractors? Good work is rewarded with more work. Profit is a function of volume. Volume is driven by performance. Job provides a steady flow of work, win a higher percentage of proposed projects, easier process for project proposals. Long-term relationship with the County of Santa Cruz. Good work is rewarded with more work. Develop a partnership with the county. Ability to leverage subcontractor and supplier relationships. And its ability to sell value, not just compete to be the lowest price. Also reduces risks, has fixed prices, no negotiations, payment for every element of work performed, ability to provide input during scope development, eliminates quibbling over change orders, reduced chance of claims, builds bond capacity, and a larger presence and enhanced reputation in the local community. Why it works for facility owners, fixed price, fast track procurement process for the county. Job orders are lump sum. The ability to accomplish a substantial number of individual projects with a single competitively bid contract. Contractor has a continuing financial incentive to provide responsive services, accurate proposals, quality of work on time, timely closeout. Future purchase orders tied to contract performance. There's no obligation to award specific projects. The county can use other means for accomplishing projects as well. Increases use of local businesses. The absence of pre-established quantities inhibits trade staffing by the prime contractor. Responsiveness requires the prime to use multiple local subcontractors. No bonding requirement for the sub. Faster payment, less red tape. Expanding businesses opportunities for small businesses. The county reviews and approves all subcontractors prior to issuing job orders. Increases transparency. The county has the ability to see and review the backup pricing details. Schedule flexibility. There's no shelf life for prices or job orders. Fast procurement cycle is good for end of fiscal year projects. The job overview, the process. So basically, when you have a contractor, it's a pretty 5-step process. Contractors, when are contacted to walk a job, we'll have a joint scope meeting with the county, the account manager, this contractor, and any subs if they want to be there, if that's something needed for the project. So basically, to meet together, and the point of the joint scope meeting is to assist the county with having a scope of work. We might have an initial scope of work, and at that joint scope meeting, it gives you a chance to see everything, ask questions, clearly more define the project. And once that's agreed upon, a final scope of work will be initiated, and Gordian will issue that RFP. So any work is by a formal request for proposal, which will have all the scope of work that's agreed upon by the county and the contractor. And that proposal could take you, once that's issued, you can have a proposal development for up to 2 weeks. Usual turnaround time is 2 weeks. If the larger projects could go longer, 3 weeks, but that's agreed again upon at the joint scope walk with the contractor and the county. So proposal development, that'll take, like I said, it could be about a week to 2 weeks. And at that time, the contractor will be using the construction task catalog and developing proposals from that catalog built on the scope of work. After that, the contractor will have submitted the proposal. The proposal will come to Gordian, and the Gordian will go through what we call just reviewing this as a scrub, basic scrub first, make sure that the scope of work is identified and the task items fit the scope of work. If you've missed anything, we want to help you get your proposal where it needs to be. So bottom line is having a proposal that is accurate it fits the project. So when that's agreed upon, and we might be going back and forth, getting the project line items worked out before the county sees it. And then once that's cleaned up and we get it to a point where it looks ready to go to the county, then the county has final review And then again, they may have some more comments based on those, the final proposal. After that, then if they go through with that, then we have a job order, you go to work. So basic bottom line, work could, starting from a joint scope work, you could be starting work in 3 to 4 weeks. So that's a pretty quick process. So that's just a general overview of that. Contract documents. So you're going to have in here the basics, which is instruction and execution documents, terms and conditions, construction task catalog, and technical specs. Those are at the county website. They can be seen there now. And just a reminder that there also was an addendum that was issued to make sure you're including that in your proposal, your bid. So the project manual, as I said, is on the site, and it'll have instructions, standard terms and conditions. It'll have all your bid forms, attachments, and exhibits. The construction task catalog, you'll have that also on the site, which is Gordian's catalog of pre-priced construction tasks. It's organized by the Construction Specification Institute in CSI, based on local labor, material, and equipment costs. The task represents the scope of work for the contract. In the catalog, in the very front end of the catalog, this is probably the most important thing when you're building your proposals. It is, you should review the construction, understanding using the construction task catalog. That is pretty much the rules of the game. Really review that when we're working with contractors. Want to make sure that you understand that, because a lot of proposals will be, as we're reviewing those proposals, we'll be referring to that construction task catalog guideline. So it's about 6 pages. It's the very front end of the catalog. So it's really good to have familiarity with that, really know that for the people that are bidding, to understand what goes into it, into the proposals. Catalog would look like once you get into the software. So it's broken down by a CSI number. The master format breakdown has a section with task notes, the pricing, demo pricing, labor. It's all and modifiers for that. So that is in the catalog. When you're building it, it's built this way, and you'll see all the pricing there. This is another example. Just looking at, say you're building this is for a concrete sidewalk. And so when you're building your proposal, it's everything just like you normally would do, that you would build it. This is line by line. And so in the catalog, it'll have your CSI number. It'll explain, for example, 4-inch casting place concrete sidewalk, aggregate base, mobilizing a backhoe, loading materials, everything that's associated with doing that concrete sidewalk. And then you'll have it by square footage or each, or and then there's pricing for what the unit pricing is for that material. And so it breaks down, and you can, that's pretty much how you would look at it in the catalog, excuse me, to build that. Excuse me, I have to get a drink. Hold on a second. Questions while I'm in here right now before I move on? Okay. So the construction task catalog, as I was saying, we also call it the big note. Unit prices are from complete and in-place construction. Unit prices include labor, material, and equipment. Unit prices include the cost of delivery to a project site, unloading, storage, and handling. Delivery height is up to 2.5 stories. Unit prices include testing, calibration, balancing for new work. Unit prices include all fasteners, bolts, anchors, adhesives, etc. for new work. Unit prices for tasks such as windows, doors, frames, countertops, etc. include ceiling and caulk. This is just an example. It's not all comprehensive in here. So this is what's some of the material that information you would find in the big note. Includes the demo prices, includes loading into a truck or a dumpster. If the item demolished as part of a different task, it will not be paid for separately. Contractor paid for installed quantities only. Waste is included in the unit price. Assembly prices take precedence over component pricing. 14 feet working height for all work except masonry. 4-foot working height for masonry. Dumpsters are a separate task. And this goes a little bit further. Contractors never get paid separately for the following. Again, this is not all inclusive. Moving and returning furniture occupying less than 55% of the floor area. For example, moving a classroom furniture to paint. Labor for protecting work in place. For example, a laborer to stay after a concrete pour. Minor barricades and signage. Portable toilet, field office equipment for contractors' use. Layout, site engineering for the work itself. We also have in the CTC Caltrans specific tasks. There's over 900 Caltrans specific tasks were added to the CTC. These tasks are based on Caltrans standard specifications and include the Caltrans item code. All unit prices were calculated using local labor, material, and equipment costs. Including Caltrans specific tasks makes it easier to prepare and approve price proposals, increases administrative efficiency for both the contractors and owners, and results in more work being completed. Non-pre-price tasks. So if the CTC has over 300,000 line items in there for tasks. If you don't find it in there, non-pre-priced means that it wasn't in the book, might be a specialty item, or it could be something proprietary. But you must have permission from the county to use a non-pre-priced task prior to submission. 3 quotes on vendors or subcontractors letterhead is required. Justification for less than 3 quotes. So this is all part of the transparency and documentation. Contractors pay the amount in the following formula. A equals the hourly rate for each trade classification not in the construction task catalog multiplied by the quantity. B, the hourly, weekly, or monthly rate for each piece of equipment not in the construction task catalog multiplied by the quantity. C, lowest of the 3 independent quotes for all materials. Total cost for self-performed work equals A plus B plus C times the appropriate normal working hours adjustment factor. For non-pre-priced tasks performed by subcontractors, if the non-pre-priced task will be subcontracted, the contractor must submit 3 independent quotes for the work. D equals the lowest of 3 subcontractor quotes. Total for non-pre-priced tasks performed by subcontractors equals D times appropriate normal working hours adjustment factor. Technical specifications specifies quality of materials and workmanship, corresponds with tasks in the construction task catalog. Solicitation details, awards based on a competitive bid. You'll be bidding 7 adjustment factors for these contracts. Normal working hours, adjustment factor, general facilities, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4 p.m. except county holidays, 30%. Other than normal working hours, adjustment factor, general facilities, Monday through Friday, 4:01 p.m. to 6:59 a.m. and all day Saturday, Sunday, and county holidays, 10%. Normal working hours, adjustment factor for secured facilities, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4 p.m. except county holidays, 15%. Other than normal working hours, adjustment factor, secured facilities, Monday through Friday, 4:01 p.m. to 6:59 a.m. and all day Saturday, Sunday, and county holidays, 10%. Normal working hours, adjustment factor, OSHPOD facilities, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4 except county holidays, 15%. Other than normal working hours, adjustment factor, OSHPOD facilities, Monday through Friday, 4:01 p.m. to 6:59 a.m. and all day Saturday, Sunday, and county holidays, 10%. All hours emergency work adjustment factor in any facility, 10%. Adjustment factors apply to all tasks in the CTC. Each adjustment factor is weighted to create an award criteria figure. Lowest award criteria figure from a responsible bidder is determined to be the lowest price. Prior to bidding, The client cannot identify or commit to any specific project or location, identify or commit to any specific CTC tasks or quantities. For the contracts, for 3 contracts for a general construction B, minimum contract value, $25,000, estimated annual contract value, $5.4 million. Maximum total contract term, these are all 1 year. Maximum contract value per California CPI, $5.4 million, $865.80. Bid bonds, $25,000, and performance bond in each, $1 million. And you can see the rest here. I'm not going to read them all, but I'm going to move on here. Solicitation details, differing site conditions or changes in the scope. Price from the construction task catalog. Supplemental job order, no negotiated change orders. Filings and permits. Fees paid for all permits reimbursed 100%, no markup. Liquidated damages on a job order basis. Sliding scale based on job order value. Bid security, $25,000. Internet-based software provided with the contract. Gordian Cloud software expedites the job order process. Price proposals, subcontractor lists, tracking dates, required job order forms. Training is provided. In this contract, there's a 1% contractor license fee, and this gives you access to the JOC software, the CTC, and other proprietary materials. Most advanced technology and data in the marketplace. It's paperless, efficient, tasks and prices input directly, no fishing through old files and estimating books for cost. JOC process training, software support included in the contractor's adjustment factor. Consider with the bid as an overhead cost, 1% of job order price. Calculating the adjustment factors method to calculate. Briefly, just what an adjustment factor is, it's the contractor's competitively bid or negotiated adjustment to be applied to the unit prices listed in the CTC. Contractor's bid is used to determine the lowest bid. Adjustment factors are fixed for the duration of the contract. The same adjustment factor applies to all tasks in the CTC. Adjustment factors must include all direct, indirect costs and profit. The adjustment factors are not limited to, so it's overhead, profit, and taxes, prep and modifications of proposals, office trailers and portable toilets, construction vehicles, storage bot devices, all personal protective equipment, daily and final cleanup, protection of all surfaces, site supervision, and management meetings. So when you're working to figure out your adjustment factor, you would use historical project data. You would select a completed project, scope, and direct costs. Then you would price it from the CTC, add an overhead and profit, and calculate the adjustment factor. So this is a sample project. So if you had a project that you've already completed, you can go through the CTC. You already have all the information from your original job, and then you can rebuild it through the CTC and see what the cost differences would be. So for example, you have an interior renovation, lighting, plumbing fixtures, replacing a boiler, and then you would you have a detailed scope of work already. So you can go into the sample project and go into the CTC and build your project and see how the differences come in from your original project, and if you were going to build it, the same project, through the CTC. So here's an example of that. Direct costs from the CTC. So you're replacing the boiler. In your original project, it was $33,000. The doors and hardware were $8,000. Lighting and plumbing costs. So that total for that project was $66,000. Then same project, you get see the same thing. You go through the estimates from quotes or estimates, and you can see the price difference. Replacing the boiler difference is $34,000, doors hardware $7,000, lighting $12,000, and plumbing $10,000. So your difference is $66,000, and then the other one is $65,000. So from those two, so that's your CTC versus your original quote from the project that you know. So you would, this is an example. This is only a sample, and you have to determine your overhead and profit and put that into your calculations. But you have direct costs of work from quotes. So we have that 65,000, your overhead 10%, subtotal cost and overhead 71,500, profit 10%, subtotal cost and overhead and profit 78,000, price from the CTC 66,344. So your adjustment factor with all those numbers, it gives you the calculation here. E divided by F will give you this 1.1855. So you would figure out your calculations, and this is how you arrive at your adjustment factor. So when you're filling out the bid form, and after you've done this, then you would do some projects that are similar to that, and so that you would have the normal working hours, other than normal working hours, are the seven adjustment factors that you need to calculate out. Then there's the percentages by the multiplier. So you figure out your adjustment bid factor numbers. When you add all these up, this is going to be this last number, the 1.2199. It's going to be the sum award criteria figure. So when they're opening up the bids, this would be the last figure, would be the award criteria figure that they would be using to award.
Linda, we have a question in the chat about where they can get the bid forms. Are those embedded in your software?
The bid forms are actually in your in the project manual that are on the website on your site.
And
Yeah,
Luna has placed the link to that in the chat.
Great. Yeah, in that, so the links will have the project manual, it will have the CTC, and it'll have the tech specs there, and also your you'll find there your addendum 1. Big considerations: contractors should expect to prepare incidental drawings or sketches from some projects, justify quantity and calculations, explain detail of work, prepare proposals for some projects that might be consent canceled. Margins on CTC tasks may vary. Some projects are more profitable than others. Maintain a fully functioning local office. Hold required licenses. And 1% of each job order is a contractor's license fee for forwarding proprietary software access. Bid considerations, contractor adjustment factors, importance of factors, determine the lowest bidder, and used to price individual work orders. Price proposal total becomes the lump sum job order amount. So as you're building your proposals, you'd have a unit price, the quantity, times your adjustment factor. And that's the total line item for that task. And as you're building the proposals, each line item, as we've shown in that one slide before, that's how it would work out. So you have your material, your unit price, quantity times the adjustment factor. And then by the time you finish your proposal, then you have a total that totals up for the total job order price. Risks of low adjustment factors could lead to arguments in proposal review. Don't want that. Unsupportable tasks, exaggerated quantities, leads to delays in work order development, takes longer to review proposals, creates an adversary relationship, reduces volume of work, will shorten the contract, lost profitability, no second chance to improve your margin. Key points: focus on total potential value of the contract, evaluate construction task catalog, analyze unit prices, know the general guidelines for using the CTC. Contractor performance drives volume, ability to market program and services, responsive service, accurate proposals, safe and clean project sites, high quality construction, on-time completion, on-time closeout. Bid submission: complete and submit the following as your bid: letter of transmittal, services offered, contractor poach, completed bid forms, resumes of contractor team, completed exhibits, ABD E, and F addendum acknowledgement and bidder's bond. Review the bid documents for bid submission directions. Confirm the record of your attendance at this pre-bid meeting. So make sure you did sign in. If anybody came in later, make sure that you did sign in on the chat with your name, company name, phone number, and email. All questions, inquiries, or other communication relating to this project shall be asked via email to Marsha Morani, Contracts Manager. And all inquiries must be received by the county that no later than November 30th at 5 p.m. Your bids are due December 16th at 5 p.m. to the General Service Department, Purchasing Division, 701 Ocean Street, 3rd floor, room 330, Santa Cruz. Anybody have any questions? That's pretty much
I
the
did
end of
see
it.
that Troy Fink is still looking for that bid form, and I don't see it either. I just reviewed it again.
Oh, it's not there? It's
No.
been there. Okay.
The people who just joined from Hogan and Pinckney, can you please provide your email and contact information? Yeah, Troy has indicated he has the construction task catalog, the tech specs and addendum, but it's not loading. The bid forms are not loaded.
They're not up?
No.
I believe the bid forms are on page 19. You're looking for the adjustment factor bid, the multiplier.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is on page 19 of the packets.
Thank you, Luna.
So it is up there.
I apologize.
Okay, great. Made me worry there for a minute.
Me too.
Okay. It's there. I thought I'd seen it, but okay. Michael, do you have any questions or anything before this is the end of the presentation? If you have any other questions, you feel free to, like I said, your email to Marsha. So I have everybody's information, and we'll be sending out a follow-up with this presentation as well to you, to make sure that we have your email.
So this is Michael. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys all for participating today in the RFP. Just to kind of give you a flavor of some of the projects that we're looking at funding for starting as soon as these agreements get into place. We will potentially have a locker room remodel for the sheriff's office, unified permit center, 4th floor remodel at 701 Ocean Street, M-Line campus asphalt work, roof replacement for 1430 Freedom, roof replacement for the Simpkins Swim Center, installation of a water filtration system, 2 complete septic systems for the McDermott Fire Station and Wheelock facility, mechanical system replacements for 1400 Emmeline, boiler system replacements for both Roundtree and the main jail, fencing projects for the Emmeline campus, single point of entry project for 701 Ocean Street, which is still in design phase, potential parking lot expansion at 701 Ocean Street, 100 electrical charging locations throughout the county, currently identified at 3 main sites. Retaining wall for 640 Capitola, Eldorado restroom remodel. In addition to parks projects, I do want to point out that this proposals, these RFPs, are for the Department of General Services and the County Parks Department. There will be a separate RFP for Department of Public Works, now operating as CDI. But besides that, I just want to say thank you guys all for your time today, and really look forward to your bids. Besides that, I'll toss it back.
It's kind of exciting to have this process in place, and it's better than shooting from the hip on cost analysis on what it's going to cost. And for budget planning purposes, it's a really good thing. So I'm grateful
Great.
for anyone who chooses to bid, and we'll look forward to receiving your bids.
Great. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions?
Oh, this is Tom Shield with Staples Construction. I just have a quick question about the pre-bid process, or the pre-proposal process. After you get the RFP, will Gordian be the PM through the pre-bid process up until the NTP?
Yes.
What-
I know what he's asking. Yes,
Okay.
we are going to be up to the MTP.
Okay. That was it. Thank you.
There is a question that somebody just raised, due to the price fluctuations that we've had in materials, we are planning on doing an addendum that will put in kind of a safety net for you guys on cost escalation to materials. So that will be coming out as an addendum. We're still working on what that language would be to help with your concerns for fluctuations for cost of materials.
Do you anticipate that addendum is going to come out before the bid is due?
Yeah, so we do anticipate having that addendum out, if not by the end of this week, first part of next week. So we do plan on having that out here pretty soon, so you guys can rely on that.
Thank you.
And we will email the addendum out to everyone on this meeting and also post it to the website, which is the link I shared in the chat earlier.
I do not see any of the RFPs on the solicitations website. I received the link through the chat for the general construction RFP, but none of the other RFPs.
There's a whole list on that page, actually.
Well,
So under the reference number column, you'll see that there is 22P1-003. So if you click on the actual 22P1 numbers, it will bring up the RFP themselves. And that's where you'll find the bid tabulation document.
It does
As
take
well.
a while to load, though.
okay, I see it now. Thank you.
Yeah, and then underneath is the construction task catalog associated with that specific RFP, and underneath is the addendum associated with that. So when we release the second addendum, you'll see that it will say addendum 2 underneath addendum 1 as well.
Sorry, girls, I'm sharing my screen. So this is just an example of the current funded capital projects for the county. We have over $77 million in total capital projects that we fund on a rough annual basis. You can kind of see some of the projects that we already have currently funded that we have not put out to bid yet. I would like to point out one project in particularly, which is the 500 Westridge Drive tenant improvements. I'm expecting this to be in the 10 million-ish range for any vendors that would be separate from this RFP, but I do want to put it out there. That's one of our bigger projects that we have. So if you guys are interested in that, please take a look at that RFP on the Department of Public Works open procurement site. Are there any other questions? I see none. Thank you very much. Be on the lookout for the addendum that we should be posting here, hopefully by the end of this week. If not, the very first part of next week.
Thank you.
Michael, do you
very
want to stay
much.
on? Michael, do you want to stay on after everyone's gone?
Yeah.
Thanks. Or anybody else from the county can stay on.
Yeah, I'm staying too, because, you know,
Okay, good. I wasn't meaning to exclude you all.
that's okay. I'm just going to all Michael's links because I'm fascinated.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit stop recording right now.